Hello, welcome back to the One Story at a Time. And if you're a B1 or B2, you probably know this feeling. You can speak, you can function, you have a good listening, but you keep repeating the same version of your English. Not because you're lazy, but because good enough creates a new trap. You stop learning and you start protecting your image, protecting your ego, your rhythm, protecting the feeling of control. And the easiest way to protect that feeling is to speak fast. Fast speech hides hesitation, it hides uncertainty, it hides the moment where you might need to simplify. But that hidden moment, the pause, is where better English actually begins. Yeah, allow yourself to pause and we're going to see what is the benefit of it. So today's episode is not about speaking more. It's about what happens when you stop performing and start choosing your words on purpose. Here's the story. Marco was a solid intermediate speaker. Not perfect, but good. Good enough to work in English. One day, he joined a meeting with two colleagues, Maya and Chris. At the start, Marco spoke fast, very fast. He used big words. He sounded confident, but something kept happening. When someone interrupted him with a question, Marco froze. Not because he didn't know the topic, but because the question forced him to slow down. Chris asked, "So, Marco, what's the main point you're trying to make?" Marco felt heat in his face. He wanted to answer quickly. Quickly meant safe, so he said, "Well, basically, the fundamental concept is that we should optimize the overall operation synergy." And then he got lost. Yeah, he got lost inside his own sentence. Does it sound familiar? Yeah, silence. Maya waited, not judging, just waiting. Marco felt pressure rise. In his mind, English became a test. And his brain did something very normal. It chose speed over clarity. He finished with, "Yeah, so that's it." After the meeting, Marco looked fine, but inside, he felt frustrated. He thought, "My English is good, so why do I feel stuck?" That evening, Marco met his friend Lina for coffee. Marco told her everything. Lina listened and asked one simple question: "Do you want to sound smart or do you want to be understood?" Marco laughed, but it wasn't a happy laugh. "I guess both." Lina nodded. "Here's the problem," she said. "At intermediate level, you can survive. So your brain thinks, done. Then you start protecting your self image." Marco looked at her. Lina continued. "When you speak fast, you avoid pauses. And pauses are where the truth appears. A pause shows I'm thinking, I'm choosing, I'm not fully sure. But that's not weakness, that's control. Control of what you're saying." Marco stayed quiet. Lina said, "Real fluency is not talking more, it's talking better. And better means clear, simple, organized. And if you want that, you need one new habit." Marco asked, "What habit?" Lena smiled. "The courage to slow down." The next day, Marco tried something different. In the next meeting, Chris asked, "Can you explain why this matters?" Marco felt the old panic, but he didn't run. He used one tool. He said, "Let me think for a second." And he said, "The main point is this saves time for the team." He stopped it. No long sentence, no fancy vocabulary. Maya nodded immediately. Chris said, "Got it?" Marco felt something new, not adrenaline, relief. After the meeting, he wrote a note. Speed is not fluency. Control is fluency. And for the first time in a long time, he felt progress again. Now we'll use this story to train your speaking. Answer out loud, then compare. Short answers are valid, and if you get lost, borrow the structure of the question. Question number 1. Where is Marco? Answer out loud. He is in a meeting. Question number 2. What happens when someone asks Marco a question? My answer, he freezes. Question number 3. Why does Marco speak fast? Because he feels safe. Who helps Marco? Sorry, question number 4. Who helps Marco? Lena helps him. Question 5. What sentence does Marco use to buy time? Let me think for a second. Now we're getting to some questions about cause and consequence. Question number 6. Why can good enough stop progress? Because you stop learning and start protecting your image. Question 7. What is Marco afraid of when he slows down? He is afraid of making mistakes and looking bad. Question 8. In the story, what does speed hides the pause means? It means fast speech covers hesitation and uncertainty. Question number 9. What is Lena's reframe about fluency? Fluency is control and clarity, not speed. If you're intermediate, here's the pattern that keeps you stuck. You can communicate, so you try to perform and choose fancy, pretty words. You build long sentences. You try to sound impressive. But pressure does this. Pressure makes your brain choose safety, and your safety habit might be speed. So the goal is not to speak more. The goal is to speak with control. Here in this episode, I'm going to give you 5 control habits you can train. Number 1, buy time on purpose. So you can say, let me think for a second. Let me think for a second. You can also rephrase instead of pushing forward. For example, let me rephrase that. What I mean is. Another option, simplify what you mean in simple terms. Announce the structure. The main point is first, second, then. Another option it is check understanding. Does that make sense? Is that clear? You also can notice something. None of those sound advanced, but they sound confident. Because confidence is not speed. Confidence is calm, is to have clarity. I want to talk a little bit with the beginners. If you're a beginner and you survived until this point of the episode, I want to congratulate you and I want to say this episode is for you too. You might think this is an intermediate problem, but the habit starts early. Many beginners believe if I speak fast, I sound better. Not true. For you, the best habit is simple. One idea at a time, one sentence, slow, clear, and one magic tool. Say just a second, or use let me think. You don't need long answer. You need clear answers. Here are three beginner safe structures you can always use. Number one, I think it's important because it saves time. The main point is, it helps the team. In simple terms, it's faster. Slow English is not a bad English. Slow English is learning English. If you feel stuck, don't chase speed, chase clarity. Next time you feel pressure, try this. Pause. Then say one simple point. Not perfect, not impressive, just clear. And you're gonna see progress from that. Until next time, one story at a time. Bye bye.